Hey folks, how you doing? This is Sven Jungbeck for you, and today it's proper chords to I See You in My Dreams. I did this song before a couple of years ago, but now here it is in a better quality, and I'm also teaching the intro. So when I say proper chords, I mean the automatic chord voicings for hot club music, hot jazz, gypsy jazz, jazz manouche. The music that was basically invented by Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli, and that a lot of gypsy players and gajo players refer to. You know, actually, it's a mix of cultures, because actually Django wanted to play the music of Louis Armstrong, which was kind of black music, but Louis Armstrong was, of course, also influenced by white jazz musicians, for example, from Europe before, and it also has its influences from Latin music and also influences from Sinti music. And I think these two worlds really show up in the quintet Hot Club de France, because when you look at the players, it's Django Reinhardt, the Sinti genius, one of the best guitar players of all time, but also Stefan Grappelli, a French guy who is very much into classical music and into gypsy music, and he was the kind of guy who arranged a lot, rehearsed a lot, and the mix was just creating this fantastic style that we still love today. So actually the intro of I See You in My Dreams, I will play it. I will play 2 choruses of rhythm guitar, and then we will talk about all the details. I'll count it in, so the intro is pretty much in time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Pretty much the tune. So the intro starts with a triad of B flat major, and it's an inversion playing C, B flat and D in the 3rd fret. Afterwards I move to the original form with B flat, D and F, so root, 3rd, 5th. Then we play a B6 chord, B flat 6th chord, no root here, but it's just like F, B flat, D and G. And then I add the major 7 of B flat, which is A, here. So we have all this as the major chord. B flat inversion, B flat, 6, major 7, and then we move to B flat minor 6, which is like this. This is the index 5th fret on the G string, and then we got like D flat, F with the middle finger, bended middle finger, and the pinky is playing C. Then I release the pinky for 1 note, and I play F major 7, which is the original form of F major 7, probably the first one of the drop 2 voicings that you learn when playing major chords with F, C, E and A. Then I'm playing a single G note, pretty normal B minor 7 flat 5, or also called B minor or B half diminished, which is B, F, A and D, like fingers crossed, you know, those two and those two. Again the G note, and then we got the B flat fully diminished chord with B flat, E, an open G string, and C sharp with the pinky. And then I'm playing an F note, play another F with my thumb, and then I play F dominant 7 flat 13, which is kind of an augmented chord. like E flat, A, C sharp, and F. These augmented chords you will find a lot into Django's music, and this chord is a whole tone scale chord. You can move it around on the fretboard. Gypsy jazz players sometimes leave out the D string. Appears like this in the intro, for example, of Sweet Chorus. And it's also the kind of music that starts when somebody in movies is falling asleep, you know. And when he wakes up, usually it goes back. So this is this chord. Typical for this time. Debussy used it a lot. So, and then we got right into the form. So the whole intro again, maybe in slow, it's... And then the form starts actually. And so what I played is I played B flat major 6 with B flat in the bass. Then we got like the G, 5th fret on the D string. The pinky is playing the 3rd, 7th fret. This is a D on the G string and an F on the B string. And when you switch those chords from this chord to the next one, you just have to reorganize ring finger and pinky to get the minor chord, because the only note that's changing would be the pinky note, but it's uncomfortable to just move it up here because you would, like, you know, push the ring finger too much aside, so you got to switch fingers. If you have problems to follow actually the form, once again, download the Django Fakebook. It's very cool. Put it in the description, and all the songs appear there that Django played, that the Gypsy Jazz player played. It's a good advice for you guys. So, afterwards, we go to F. But before we do this, I talk about all the B flat major chords so that you got them all in one place. Because when we play rhythm guitar, we kind of improvise too. We use different chord voicings for each choruses. Of course, in the beginning, you don't do that. You just stick to one version. But it's a good thing to increase your vocabulary so that you will be able to play a lot of versions of choruses on any standard. So that in the end, you can easily play through standards without even playing one chorus the same. You can follow the bass player, you can follow the lead guitar player. And so the most important voicings is, of course, this voicing for B flat major 6. You can play the B flat major 6/9 voicing, and this is the most complicated one, but also the most authentic one that you always see people playing. It has a power chord in the bass with B and F, but then the middle finger, the thumb, is playing the B flat and F, and then the middle finger is playing F and B flat at the same time. The index is playing the 3rd and the 7th fret, and the ring finger is playing G and C. That makes it a B flat major 6/9 chord. And it sounds just fantastic. If you can't get that with the thumb, just play the middle strings. And then you have, like, let's say, more classical fingering with one finger at one note, like F, B flat, both in the 8th fret, then we got in the 7th fret the D, and in with the pinky the G. But the difference is really there. When I'm playing this chord, just check out the rhythm. Now, and again, it's a fuller sound, a little more buzzy, a little more woomy, and it's exactly what you need in Gypsy Jazz. So also this chord can be changed to a B flat minor 6 chord easily by moving the index 1 fret below from D to D flat. You can also do this, like, you know, with the thumb, but then it's a little more difficult, of course. It's the same effect that you got here. And these are the most, let's say, common chords that you would play on that song for B flat. Sometimes, depending on where I end, I even play a triad, like B flat triad with D in the bass. Before I switch to F, but that doesn't happen so often. So the F chord looks a little similar. It's in the 8th fret, And I pick again 2 notes with 1 finger. My middle finger is placed between the C on the E string and the F on the A string. Then my index is playing A and D, which is 3rd and 6th, and the ring finger is playing the 9 of F. This is the 9 of F, right? G. The 9th note, that's why it's chord like this. And the 5th that we already got in the bass. So we got 5th, root, 6, 5th, root, 3rd, 6, 9, and again 5th. You move it chromatically to E. Sometimes at this point I'm even playing E dominant 7, 9. Therefore I just have to make a little movement with the ring finger and cover the upper 3 strings. So you go like... And then I move it chromatically downwards to D dominant 7, 9. It's the same with E dominant 7, 9. Again, if you can't cover all 6 strings, just leave out the E string muted and play the middle strings like this. You know, same principle. All strings, just the middle strings. It's also working, no problem. After the D, which is pretty long, or let's say on the D, sometimes to make some movement, I just move it chromatically upward and downwards. Like this. You come from the F. Just moved that one upwards and downwards. And the G, I did a walking bass movement from this fretty green chord. G, A string muted, F and B. Then I'm playing A, A string muted, F sharp and C, which is kind of D7. Moving that upwards chromatically. And then having, for example, G with B in the bass. So, very nice movement. So you got all the movements on the... like this, A string is muted, and here you got this. So, sounds great. You can also play the G dominant 7 chord as a static chord. In that case, I would play this G dominant 7 Gypsy Jazz chord. It works the same way than the flat B flat major 6/9 chord in the 3rd fret, but instead of covering with my ring finger B string and E string, I play with the pinky the 6th fret and leave out the E string. Complicated chord. If you can't do this, feel free to play the normal jazz chord, which is G dominant 7. Gypsy players would also tend to play those with the thumb in the bass, or even at the 5th here with the pinky. This is a typical Nushi-Rosenberg chord. The goal is to prevent having the root on top. If you play the bar chord, it's the same notes till the B string, but the bar chord has this very not really good sounding root there. There is nothing wrong about the root, but if you have it in the top note, it's kind of not authentic. You know what I mean? It sounds kind of douche, and here, that's a lot better. Afterwards we have C dominant 7, 9, which is the same than we had for D. And some players in some versions, they stay on the C until it starts again with B flat. Sometimes we move it up to F7 or move the C up to the 8th fret for F7 before it starts. I show you the difference. So let's say we start, I will play an entire A and do both. So let's check it out. Start on B flat again. This is like whatever you like, whatever you have to talk with your band about it. You know, some songs have variations concerning the chords, concerning the turnarounds, you know, concerning the intro. And the difference between a professional band and a hobby band is very often that you talk about the details. And actually, the Joshua Stefan trio, for example, we don't really rehearse a lot. You know, we play in the sound check or at the hotel room, just a little. But actually, these little details that are important, we really talk about those and try to make them right on stage, because this is like what makes the performance strong in first place. Strong arrangements, endings, intros, where everybody will notice, well, that's kind of rehearsed. And rehearsed doesn't mean that you need to spend hours on it, but you need to talk about it, you know. So you really need to make up your own version, that's what I'm saying, or refer to a version, whatever you like, but make clear that everyone in the band is playing the same chords, the same turnarounds and stuff like that. When we go back to the head, so to like the B part is pretty much the same than part A, but the change comes when we hit D7 on A, we will continue differently on B. So again, I will have like, for example, like this. Instead of D, we play A half diminished, or A minor 7 flat 5, which is basically A string muted, G, C, and E flat. Then we go to D7, the same that we had before. Don't D7 9, but I'm not playing this regular D7 chord. It's just like kind of a basic form. Looks like the campfire C moved up to the 5th fret with the pinky on the G string. So we got like D, F sharp, C, and D. Then I'm playing, instead of A7, which is the harmony that shows up here, I play a substitute. I play C sharp dim a lot of time with C sharp, G, B flat, and E, and then D minor 6 with D, natural B, and F, and then till the last progression shows up, which is like B flat 6, B6, C6, C7, F. All chords that we had before, and to continue, we play F7 if the song is not ended yet and we have another round. So here there are some interesting things. When I play the A half diminished chord to the G, to the D, there's a lot of things that I could do. I could play like, I could play this D dominant 7 chord. I do this a lot. It's a D dominant 7 chord without B and E string. It's just like it has the 5th on the E string, the root on the A string, F sharp, and C, and it sounds pretty bassy, and I like that. I play, as I said, the normal one. You could play like the flat 9 chord, but that's like a little too jazzy. Whenever I play rhythm guitar in jazz music, swing music, I leave out the spicy options because they can get into the way of what the soloist is doing, and that's not even the basic reason. The basic reason is more that most of the time they kind of sound strange when having a rhythm guitar sound, because the rhythm guitar is like a good way to accompaniment a song. And actually, I think that a lot of players should concentrate more when they begin on rhythm guitar, even in jazz music, before they start with a more, let's say, piano-like way of comping. Because all the good players that do that, like Pat Metheny or Bill Frisell or Julian Lage, they're all fantastic rhythm players as well. And sometimes that's overseen in jazz education. You should start with rhythm guitar, using simple voicings, having a nice crunchy rhythm. Doesn't matter if it's like traditional swing or more American swing. Talk about this in the end of the lesson. So actually, I use these chords. Sometimes I use the C sharp dim, as I said. I can also do an A dominant 7 chord, Freddie Green chord, the one that we had for G before, with the thumb in the bass, with the pinky, these kind of chord forms. If you want to have all these chords, feel free to check out my bundles on PayHip. I sell bundles, Master the Song, with 2 till 4 choruses of transcribed solo in taps and notes, and also all these chords that I'm talking about and demonstration vids. For a couple of songs, it's always getting more and more songs. So actually, after the A dominant 7, I play D minor 6, and on the A string, this is a good way to play it, like, as I said, like D, B, F. You can also try it. Sometimes that's good in old school music, or what I also like to do, instead of playing the normal bar chord, where I leave out the E string, I play only the upper 4 strings. And then for the last progression, there's a little, let's say, alternative that you have. I like to move the chords chromatically. But what you can also do is, like, instead of B6, you can play B diminished. That would be more jazzy, and I think a lot of players would also refer to this. After the C7 I sometimes play, or after the C6 I sometimes play E dim, same chord that we had for C sharp dim. Also it's a substitute for the C chord. So you can do, for example, or you could do like, you could also play these chords like in any other place. You can choose the other voicings. You could go like, so now I used 6/9 voicings. You could even use the full one. That's basically all the chords. So I will play now with talking an entire form again. So it was like B flat minor. Now you got a long F. Short switch to E. That's more a grace chord. Now I go to D dominant 7. G, I'm walking up to C and F7. Again, B flat major. B flat minor. I'm having F, E, and F, walking up. And A half diminished, E, A7, E minor 6. And ending. So this was I'll See You in My Dreams. When we talk about the swing rhythm, I have videos where I talk only about the swing rhythm, but to make that clear, you start with the shuffle, accenting 2 and 4. So you're playing 8 notes actually, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, accenting 2 and 4, leave out the 8 notes. Now you want the 1 and 3 a little pushed, like, while you have 2 and 4 as a whiplash. All notes are super short. Sometimes people ask if it's a dead note. No, it's not. It's just like very short. So you got the first note with the boss pushing into the strings. The second and fourth is whiplash, like this. And this is, there you go, this is the very essential thing, without any upstrokes. If you use the upstrokes, it's before the 1 and before the 3, except of course for the first one of a song, or the first one after a solo, but after that it's always before the 1 and before the 3. Sounds like this. It's this very fast movement. Another thing, some people think it's like this, but that's not the case. I'm hitting at least the low 4 strings. Most of the time I'm hitting them all. So, and this is really the whole secret about it. Sometimes you hit the bass notes to, you know, play like a little fill. For example, you could play in the end of a song, if you want to turn around or something, you could go like... But you don't do that a lot in regular rhythm playing. You hit more or less all the strings. Yeah, so that was all the secrets concerning the song I See You in My Dreams. Hope you liked it. If yes, subscribe to my channel and check out my webpage, check out my releases. I play worldwide with my own trio, with the Joshi Stefan trio, with the Sandro Roy Unity Band, all, let's say, really good bands of the style. You can get my latest releases on my website. You can ask for a private lessons, join my group lessons, check out my PayHip account for material like MP3 downloads and lessons material, everything there you need. So this was Sven Jungbeck for you, and have a nice day. Cheers.